Hello. We are at long last chopping up my philodendron. We're doing it. I've talked extensively about how much I kind of low-key loathe this plant. Like I like the plant objectively, but subjectively my experience has not been great. So we're gonna start over. We're gonna just chop them up right here, right now. We're doing it. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I have kids. So all of that noise is my 11-month-old playing with a shark toy thing. He's really having a good time. All right, so here's the top cut. We're just going for it. Bada bing, bada boom. Top cut right there. I think, oh my gosh, it's bleeding all over me. This is, oh my goodness. I'm probably gonna end up putting this in water and we'll see if it roots for me. And if it doesn't, oh well. And then the rest of these I think I'll probably put in moss. Cut there. And this is just an empty node. Actually, both of these right here are empty nodes. So those are gonna be wet sticks. Actually, it might be easier to just chop here and then chop in half. Okay, wow, this smells so potent. Like I know, so philodendron typically, oh my gosh, it smells like rotten carrots. I don't know. Typically philodendron do have a strong smell to them when you cut them and that sort of thing. And I usually like the smell, but it's usually not this strong. This is
taking me back to when my mom used to like juice carrots and like a bunch of other vegetables in a juicer back in 2008 when I was 10 years old. Like it is taking me back. That is the smell. It smells very much like that.
Except not quite as fresh, a little bit more on the potent rotting side, so, okay. Well, but this plant is not rotting that I know of. I think it's doing relatively okay. It's growing, it just is not growing the way that I want it to. Okay, I really need to get better, like, shears because, I mean, these are just scissors, but I need to get myself like a proper pair. I thought that I got one and I used to have it, but I can't find it anywhere. But it's, yeah, it's fine. So that's the next cut. Oh, this is another empty node actually. So this will be another wet stick right here. Yay, hi, what's up? He's not quite walking yet, but he's getting kind of close. He's pulling himself onto everything and like cruising on furniture. Another one, oh my gosh, this is literally like dripping so much. And then, let's see, there we go. This leaf is actually really pretty. So when this leaf happened, my hopes and dreams were starting to reignite for this plant, and then the next leaf was trash, so. I think I'm just gonna leave this here and see what happens. Because sometimes I actually have a lot of luck with butt cuts. I think that's what they're called, like the bottom portion of the plant. Sometimes they actually grow back really nicely. So I'm gonna leave this like this and I'm gonna propagate these guys. But first, I do wanna propagate another thing. So I'm gonna wash off these scissors and I also wanna show you the actual carnage right here. Like, look at how much juice. Oh, dude. Okay, so right here is my Rephotophora tetrasperma, which I absolutely love, but I need to address something that I've been putting off. So look, it's starting down there, goes up, 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 up. It is hitting the ceiling. So I just need to cut it. I mean, it's gonna be a really simple thing, but I figured if I film it, I'm actually going to get it done, so let's do that. My sister-in-law came over yesterday and she saw this plant and really, really loved it. So I think I'm gonna give her like the top cut. And in my experience, this plant will branch off, interestingly, from like whichever axillary bud gets activated. So like here, I chopped it right here, and then down here, it kind of branched off, almost in like a different direction from the axillary bud. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know exactly where I want to cut it yet. That remains to be seen. But wherever I cut it, I mean, it'll probably start branching off, and that might be a really interesting look. So, yeah. And hopefully I'm tall enough to even reach this. Like, yeah. All right, let's do it. Here we go. No takey backsies. Ooh, let's do here. Okay, and then it'll branch off in whichever direction and I'll let it keep growing, I guess. All right, so here is the cut. It's a beefier one that I intended, but honestly, when I was like looking at where I'd want it to branch off, that seemed appropriate. But I don't want to try to root this entire piece, so I'm gonna cut it down a little bit. So there's one, and there's one. Maybe I'll start from here. So I'm gonna take off this leaf just so that I can stick it in water more easily. And I'm gonna see if this roots up from here and like maybe even this node too, but like I want there to be enough critical mass of a plant for my sister-in-law to work with. Obviously like this newest leaf is kind of stunted because it was hitting the ceiling and it was not happy about that. But like then she has 3 leaves. I think it should root up fine. If there's issues, I have 2 other cuts that I've made, and I'll probably root these in moss just because it's easier to stick these in a vessel with moss than trying to stick them in water. It's like, you know, it's different. Does that make sense? All right, let's go ahead and get these guys situated. I absolutely love these little propagation vessels. These are literally just kombucha bottles from the grocery store that I just removed the sticker from. As you can see, I have a little propagation station right by the sink. And that way it's really easy to refill the propagations with water as needed. Yeah, I think it's actually quite cute. Now it's time for the moss propagations. I generally do prefer moss propagating to water propagating, not because I think it's necessarily always superior, but mostly because my cats tend to knock over my water propagations. Like the ones that are over by the sink where I showed you are like enough out of reach that my cats don't bother them, but if I put them basically anywhere else that they can access, I can expect that propagation to be knocked over, which is really annoying, and I don't like that. I tend to do more moss propagating than not for that reason, and then I just stick them in my prop boxes, which is great. But I think I'm gonna start off with the wet sticks from the Dark Lord. Wet sticks from the Dark Lord! Literally every time I think of Voldemort and Harry Potter, and I am immediately thrown back to my childhood. I still do love Harry Potter. Have you guys heard that there's gonna be potentially, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but I've been hearing about like a Harry Potter television series on HBO Max, which honestly, I know some people are maybe kind of upset about it. And when I first heard about it, I was like, okay, really, come on. But now I'm starting to get a little bit excited. And the best argument that I've heard for that was that James and Lily Potter, Harry's parents, and like that whole generation, in the movies, they were depicted as being in like their 30s and 40s when they died, but in reality, they were in their early 20s, which ups the tragedy factor so much and completely like changes the dynamic. I mean, Severus Snape is supposed to be in his 30s, isn't he? Technically speaking. And instead, I mean, Alan Rickman, rest in peace. Amazing man, amazing actor, perfect for Snape. But him being as old as he was kind of changed the dynamic of the characters and like aged up all of the characters. And I don't know. I feel like I would love to see. Oh really? My son agrees. I would just love to see what it would be like to have the characters be their canon ages and have, I don't know. It would completely change the vibe. And I think especially because I'm now like the same age and I have kids. So I'm 25 now. And so I can like kind of better put myself into Lily Potter's shoes because she was literally, wasn't she like 21 when she died? Protecting her infant son? That's absolutely insane. When I was in high school, that never really hit as hard. Number one, because I was in high school, and number two, because the movies didn't portray Harry's parents as being that young when they died. I don't know. That's just me. So I'm kind of excited about it. How did I even, oh yeah, the Dark Lord. I was like, how did I start talking about Harry Potter? If you guys are familiar, I think like a previous plant chores or repotting video that I did. My son was also playing with that piano that makes a lot of noise. It's back. Thankfully you guys didn't seem to mind. But honestly, I mean, that thing is so effective at keeping him entertained. The downside is just that like, it's so loud, so you hear it in the video. And once I'm done propagating these, I don't know, I did make some changes to my greenhouse cabinet. I think I want to show you guys what I did if I have time today. And hopefully, okay, I did not have the most luck with propagating Raphidophora tetrasperma, to be completely honest with you. Like, it rooted, but I feel like it took forever. And I think I need to trim these, hang on. And not all of them really took to the soil when I potted them in the pot. I don't know. We'll see how these do, but I'm not like overly attached to them. I don't really know. Maybe I'll try potting them in the pot again. Okay, here's what we're looking at. Anyway, here's what we're looking at for the propagations. Let me get this cleaned up and I'm gonna address my son. I think he needs to go down for a nap. So I'm right here with my cabinet and I just wanted to show you the change that I made. They're changes that I was talking about making in my last cabinet update video, but that I hadn't done yet, but now I finally did it. So originally I had 3 Barina T5 grow lights at the top there, but I moved one of them down to the bottom. That's really the main difference because I had found that the plants that were like up on those magnetic shelves were getting bleached from too much light because right up by the grow lights it was like over 1,000-foot candles all the time, 12 hours a day, and that was just way too much for those plants. But then the plants on the bottom, like that bottom portion, was very underutilized because they were getting maybe 100-foot candles, less than 100-foot candles of light 12 hours a day, which is fairly low light, honestly. So now I kind of have split up the lights so the lighting isn't as intense towards the top and there is some more light at the bottom. So it's just more evenly dispersed, which I haven't fully decided, oh, do I love it or is it okay? I don't know. It's definitely different. So I'll give you a closer look. And the fan is on, so sorry, it's gonna be kind of noisy. It's gonna take some getting used to, but honestly, I think that this is probably for the best because this way I can have more plants down here. The plants on this level are not quite as crowded. And then the plants up here don't get bleached by having 3 lights at the top. But the way that I did that, I didn't do it originally because these adapter connector things were not long enough to connect all the way down here. So I actually had to go on Amazon and get an extended version of that adapter thing. You know, the cord that daisy chains everything together. So I just connected it here, ran it down the side, and I added some electrical tape to try to hold it in place, although it did not work very well here. So I need to like readdress that, but that was just kind of a quick job. I also need to readdress some of the weather stripping in here. Some of it's kind of coming apart. But generally speaking, the humidity has remained around 70%, which is really good. That's what's happening here. Why do I feel so out of breath? My goodness. We'll see how the plants grow now that I've made that change. I think it's probably for the better. But now, hi kitty. Oh my goodness, he's so sweet. But now I would like to, oh my goodness, repot just a couple of plants that badly need it. I wasn't planning on doing that, but my son went down for another nap and my daughter is having time just playing independently. So I'm like, okay, I have a few minutes. I'm gonna repot a couple of things. So let me set that up. Hopefully I don't make a huge mess because I just did not feel like setting up my potting mat. For no real reason, I'm actually also really running low on potting mix, so I need to buy more amendments and all that. Oh my gosh, guy, dude, you are like really wanting attention right now, dude. Are you okay? I mean, he is a big lover, but I feel like today he is more aggressive in terms of his affection than normal, so I wonder what that's about. So first I'm gonna repot my Calathea makoyana because it's been needing that for a while now. So here she is. She's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. But as you can see, she's got like rhizomes starting to come out of the pot and stuff. So I'm just gonna go for it. Because I don't have my potting mat with me, I'm just gonna kind of empty it out into the soil mix, which I don't usually love doing. I like to keep it more separate, but oh well. And then, oh, actually, so I think Sheena, guys, I've made a mistake. So for some reason, I thought that this pot was a lot smaller than it actually is, and that this pot was a lot bigger than it actually is. I'm contemplating my life choices right now because she definitely needs a repot, but I can't jump sizes this much. And I don't want to put her in terracotta because that's not a recipe for success with this kind of plant. I suppose I could put her in here. It's like the same width, but it's deeper. I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if I have anything that will work. Okay. I think this is the best solution I have. I have like a really old pot from like Home Depot from 2 years ago or something. But I also have this rope cover basket. So I think I'm gonna pot it in this because it has drainage holes, it's plastic, whatever. But use the cover pot just for it to be still at least somewhat appealing. I'm already making a mess, but let me go ahead and fill this up a little bit and plop this girly in here. Okay, I think that will work. Hopefully she's happy with this. I like this plant a lot. I don't think I've ever actually repotted it. I have refreshed the soil before, so this is very exciting. Hey, what do we think? Is that cute? Or is that cute? I'm not mad at that, actually. That's nice. I'll water her. Obviously, when you water a situation like this, I take it out of the basket to water it, just because I don't want the basket to get all waterlogged and gross. Okay, so these are 2 anthurium. I definitely need to repot both of these, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't have the ideal pot situation that I would want. I would love to get some like really beautiful ceramic pottery for these, but unfortunately that's just not an option right now. I don't really want to go pot shopping right now, and I've put it off long enough, and I don't want to spend the money on a super nice pot right now either. So we're just gonna work with what we have, and it's not gonna be as nice, but maybe I'll find like a cover pot or something for the future. I know for at least one of these I can probably use this cover pot that the Makoyana was in, which is good, but okay. But anyway, this is my anthurium dark forgettii, and it's so pretty. But right here, look at all of these roots. I'm a little bit afraid of removing this from the vessel. I was afraid of this. I literally said it while I was potting this up. I was like,
I hope that the roots don't go too crazy in this because it's going to be really hard to remove it.
But that is coming true. So, hang on, my husband's calling me. I'm so stressed about this because I really don't want to have to break the vessel either. Oh my gosh. Maybe I need to get like a chopstick or something. I'll be right back. I feel like I'm running up and down the stairs a lot right now. Okay, I got a stick. Because like no matter what I do, I'm also kind of damaging the roots a little bit too. But anthurium roots are really beefy, so that's good, but still. Oh my gosh. Would it be better for me to just break this vessel? Oh, I don't want to though. Ah, dang it, my stick broke. Okay, we're maybe getting somewhere. I'm very determined. Come on. Oh my gosh. I have at least one root that's lost. This moss is also quite stinky. I'm literally sweating. Why am I putting myself through this? I'm a little bit worried that this is gonna totally stress the plant out. What else am I gonna do? I can't leave it in here forever. Okay. Okay, I definitely broke so many roots in that process though. So let's see if we have a bunch of casualties or like what the deal is. But holy moly, that rooted so much in that moss. Okay, well, I definitely broke some, but it's like not as bad as I thought. Probably keep some of the moss on just because, I don't know, I'm not like that finicky about having moss in with the plant. So this is probably good enough, I guess. Those are the casualties. I'm probably not gonna add that in with my moss because I don't want the roots to rot over time and then add bacteria. I don't know if I'm correct on that reasoning or not. We'll see. Okay, my shoulder is like killing me now. Okay, I guess let's just go with this one. This is not the prettiest pot ever. It's obviously just like a plastic orange pot, nursery pot, whatever. But I will keep my eye out for a nicer cover pot for this. I do prefer to have like a clear vessel or clear pot for my anthurium because I feel like that's better because I like to keep an eye on the roots. I'm gonna add moss on top to dress the soil. Again, anthurium tends to like that. And there we are. Hopefully, it will like its new home. Okay, the last one, my anthurium crystallinum, which has been rather root bound in here for too long, to be honest. So I'm just gonna pot it up in what the Persia was in and use this cash po here. So I think that should be adequate. This one is gonna be straightforward, hopefully. Where I was literally just sweating with that other anthurium. Okay. Come on, buddy. Let's get you in your new home. Look at all those roots. I don't know if you can totally see that. Do you see that? So many juicy roots in there. And this anthurium dries out so quickly. It's ridiculous a little bit. Let's get you just plopped in. Plippity ploppity. Woof, yeah, I seriously need more soil. It like stresses me out when I get so low on my soil because normally I have so many amendments and I can make more and it's just like not a big deal. But right now, this is all I have. So I definitely need to get more soil amendments. I like to have stuff on hand so I can do emergency repots if necessary because I have cats and toddlers and they knock plants over sometimes and pots break and I have to repot things and if I don't have soil. Okay, I think that will work. Now for the cash po. Ta-da! Look at that. Such a pretty plant. I hope that she likes it. She likes her new home. I think I'm going to say farewell here. So I'm gonna go water these plants and clean up this mess that I made in my bedroom. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me today. I had fun hanging out with you. This was a very like informal plant vlog type situation, I guess. If you like this video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to. All that stuff is super helpful for my channel. And yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.